Did anyone read? Did anyone read the assigned homework?
Yeah, I did.
Right.
I was telling that old Solomon sure had a lot of stuff to say. Let me tell you.
Yes, he did.
Boy,
So
he had a bunch of them.
Let's do a quick little review. So, Uncle Charlie, who takes credit for authorship in the first chapter? Yeah, you already said it.
Oh, King Solomon?
That's correct. King Solomon. Bonus credit. What was King Solomon's first name? The one that was given? No. Starts with a J. No. No. Definitely not. What was Solomon's name that was given to him by Samuel the prophet?
Oh, Jesus. I read that too.
Jedediah, which means loved of God. Okay. Who, Levi, this question's for you. Who was King Solomon's mom and dad? Yes, and yes. All right. It's gone. Who was Solomon writing to? Levi. Who was Solomon writing to in the Proverbs? No. What'd you say, Nana? It's who he was, but he was writing to his son. Right? Solomon was writing to his son. You're okay, Lawson. Don't be scared. You're okay. You're okay. Good job, buddy. You got it. There you go. Yay. Okay. How many Proverbs did Solomon write? Michelle? No. Yes. Yeah. All right. Shelly's on fire. Okay.
What'd you say?
She said 3,000. And
we know that
because in 1 Kings chapter 4, it records that Solomon wrote over 3,000 proverbs and how many songs? 1,000. 1,000. So pretty cool. Somewhere around there. Yep. Yep. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Can anyone tell me what a proverb is? Miguel.
Saying.
So I'm going to give you an analogy. I'm going to give you an analogy that Chuck Missler gave. When you're giving someone advice, he said a proverb is like shooting with a rifle versus shooting with a shotgun. Shotgun sprays out, it's all over the place, where a rifle's short and to the point. So it's short and detailed to the point. No, you're not on the camera. Okay. This is a big question. Levi, I want you to know the answer to this one. What is, Lily, stop. What is the beginning of knowledge or wisdom? Levi. No. This is gonna be something that kind of throws you for a loop, Levi, because it's not gonna be something you're used to hearing. The fear of the Lord. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of knowledge or wisdom. Good job. So my question then for you guys is name one thing that you've learned from the first 7 chapters of Proverbs. Anything. There we go. You guys got anything? Okay. What I wrote down for myself was stick to your wife. Don't stray away. That was in there. So that's our review of the first 7 chapters. We're going to jump right into this. And as usual, Proverbs is very unique in that there's not a bunch of expounding that goes along. It's just more or less one of those things that you read. Many people, because there's 31 chapters and many months, we have 31 days of the month, people will read a chapter a day during a month and conquer the book of Proverbs. I know lots of people actually that do read Proverbs every morning when they first wake up. Chuck Missler had given a challenge to people where you read a small section of Proverbs in the morning, and then at night when you come home in a journal, you write which verse or which saying had application to you in that day. And he said, give it a shot because it will always continue to change because the circumstances change and it will have application in your life. So if you guys ever have a free moment, give that a shot. So we're going to start off in Proverbs chapter 7. Levi, what are the first two words?
My son.
So who's he writing to?
My son.
There we go. All right, we're starting to put that together, huh? My son, keep my words and treasure my commands within you. Keep my commands and live, and my law as the apple of your eye. Bind them on your fingers, write them on the tablet of your heart. Say to wisdom, you are my sister, and call understanding your nearest kin, that they may keep you from the immoral woman, from the seductress who flatters with her words. For at the window of my house I looked through my lattice, and saw among the simple, I perceived among the youths, a young man devoid of understanding, passing along the street near her corner. And he took the path to her house in the twilight, in the evening, in the black and dark night. And there a woman met him, with the attire of a harlot and a crafty heart. She was loud and rebellious. Her feet would not stay at home. At times she was outside, at times in the open square, lurking at every corner. So she caught him and kissed him. With an impudent face, she said to him, I have peace offerings with me today. Today, I have paid my vows. So I came out to meet you diligently to seek your face, and I have found you. And I have spread my bed with tapestry, colored coverings of Egyptian linen. I have perfumed my bed with myrrh, aloes, and cinnamon. Come, let us take our fill of love until morning. Let us delight ourselves with love. For my husband is not at home. He is gone on a long journey. He has taken a bag of money with him and will not come home until on the appointed day. With her enticing speech, she caused him to yield. With her flattering lips, she seduced him. Immediately he went after her as an ox goes to the slaughter, or as a fool to the correction of the stocks, till an arrow struck his liver. As a bird hastens to the snare, he did not know it would cost his life. Now, therefore, listen to me, my children. Pay attention to the words of my mouth. Do not let your heart turn aside to her ways. Do not stray into her paths, for she has cast down many wounded, and all who were slain by her were strong men. Her house is the way to hell, descending to the chambers of death. I think I have a note on this, but this particular, I have a note on this somewhere else. So we'll keep going. Does not wisdom cry out and understanding lift up her voice? She takes her stand on top of the hill, on the high hill, beside the way where her paths meet. She cries out by the gates at the entry of the city and at the entrance of the doors. To you, O men, I call, and my voice is to the sons of men. O you simple ones, understand prudence, and you fools, be of an understanding heart. Listen, for I will speak of excellent things, and from the opening of my lips will come right things, for my mouth will speak truth. Wickedness is an abomination to my lips. All the words of my mouth are with righteousness. Nothing crooked or perverse is in them. They are all plain to him who understands, and right to those who find knowledge. Receive my instruction and not silver, and knowledge rather than choice gold. For wisdom is better than rubies, and all the things one may desire cannot be compared with her. I, wisdom, dwell with prudence and find out knowledge and discretion. Okay, here we have another. I have this bolded for a reason, okay? And I want you boys to know this. Levi, why don't you read it out loud so everyone can hear it nice and loud?
Fear of the Lord is not
Nope, is to
painful pride and
arrogance,
arrogance, and the evil way and the
perverse mouth. Very good. Very good. Okay. Have you ever asked the question, what are things God likes? What are things that God doesn't like? Because you don't want to do things that God doesn't like, right? Yes. And did you know where that came from? The fear of the Lord is to hate evil. We also don't like pride or arrogance and the evil way and the perverse mouth I hate. That's right. We don't like evil. Okay? So, counsel is mine and sound wisdom. I am understanding. I have strength. By me, kings reign and rulers decree justice. By me, princes rule and nobles and all the judges of the earth. I love those who love me, and those who seek me diligently will find me. Miguel, what verse does that remind you of what Jesus says in the New Testament?
Okay, all the judges of the earth, I love those who love me, and those who seek me diligently will find me. Like around Matthew?
Yes. Starts with something like, for you have loved me because I have first. Right? You guys remember that? Oh, right, Lily. That's what I'm talking about, girlfriend. Pow. So we can see here that there is more than just Solomon speaking here, right? By me, kings reign and rulers decree justice. By me, princes rule and nobles, all the judges of the earth. I love those who love me, and those who seek me diligently will find me. Riches and honor are with me, enduring riches and righteousness. My fruit is better than gold, yes, than fine gold, and my revenue than choice silver. I traverse the way of righteousness in the midst of the paths of justice, that I may cause those who love me to inherit wealth, that I may fill their treasuries. Okay, do you think he's talking about wealth, Luke? Stop. What do you think he's talking about there? You can? So what do you think is, Levi, what do you think is meant by riches and honor are with me, enduring riches and righteousness? Do you think he's talking about money, or he's talking about something else?
He's talking about money.
No.
Riches.
No. Riches and honor are with me, but enduring riches and righteousness. What do we know about the money that we make on this earth? It's going to go away when we die. Right? How many people you know can take their money with them when they die?
Yes.
Nobody. Right? So who has enduring riches?
Jesus.
Yes. And where are we rewarded with those?
God.
In heaven. Okay. Do you guys see that? You see that? I would call that a critical concept. All right. Don't stick that in his ear. Okay. You guys see that too, right, Miguel?
Yes.
Okay. So this is speaking right now. My fruit is better than gold. Yes, than fine gold. What's the roads made of in heaven? Why?
Because
Right, but that's how meaningless gold is there in comparison. Because that's how powerful God is. What we would hold in high esteem is like dirt in heaven. Think about that. The roads are paved with gold. And here, it's like dirt. Be that too. I love your mermaid. I'm going to move on, guys. So, I traverse the way of righteousness in the midst of the paths of justice, that may cause those who love me to inherit wealth, that I may fill their treasuries. The Lord possessed me at the beginning of his way, before his works of old. I have been established from everlasting, from the beginning, before there was ever an earth. When there was no depths, I was brought forth. When there were no fountains abounding with water, before the mountains were settled, before the hills, I was brought forth. While as yet he had not made the earth or the fields or the primal dust of the world. When he prepared the heavens, I was there. When he drew a circle on the face of the deep, when he established the clouds above, when he strengthened the fountains of the deep, when he assigned to the sea its limit, so that the waters would not transgress his command, when he marked out the foundations of the earth, then I was beside him as a master craftsman, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing always before him, rejoicing in his inhabited world, and my delight was with the sons of men. Now therefore listen to me, my children, for blessed are those who keep my ways, hear instruction and be wise, and do not disdain it. What do you think that means, Levi?
Maybe don't do it.
Don't do what?
Leave.
Yes, that could fit in there.
Uh,
So we're gonna move on.
can I-
Nope. Go ahead. Read the bold part.
Blessed is the man who listens to me, watching daily at my gate.
Stop. Give me one example out of a book that we just read of a man who was standing at the king's gate. No. No.
Mordecai.
Mordecai. Yeah, Mike, I knew that's what you were saying. I knew. Good job. Good job. Okay. Good job, Lil. Okay. Okay, keep going, Levi.
Waiting at the post of my doors, for whoever finds me finds life.
Stop. Who do you think that's talking about?
I
Who is it?
know.
Whoever finds me. Who do you think the me is? It's Jesus. Good job, Luke.
I was just going to say Jesus.
Okay, keep going on.
And wait, what?
Yep, and obtains.
And obtains favor from the Lord. But he who stands against me
Wrongs his own soul.
his own soul. All those who hate me love death.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
If you hate Jesus and you hate God, you love death. What we have a wonderful gift. That's right.
That's what it's saying. If you love God, you won't die because you will live
We
forever.
will
in
die.
heaven
We will have a physical death.
spiritually.
These bodies are not built to last. Ever since man sinned in the Garden of Eden, the laws of entropy kicked in, which means that our bodies are slowly going to decay and die. The earth is slowly decaying and dying. Okay? We're not meant to live forever. Okay?
Spiritually.
But this is talking about the second death. People who reject Christ, unfortunately, are going to be hurt by that second death. They are not going to be welcome in heaven. Where does that mean that they go? Yes. Good thinking, buddy.
Did I say that right?
Yeah. No, you can. It's not a bad word. It's a bad place. But you don't tell people to go to hell, okay? All right. Want to make sure we got that. All right. Proverbs chapter 9. Wisdom has built her house. She has hewn out her 7 pillars. She has slaughtered her meat. She has mixed her wine. She has also furnished her table. She has sent out her maidens. She cries out from the highest place of the city, "Whoever is simple, let him turn in here." As for him who lacks understanding, she says to him, "Come and eat my bread and drink of my wine I have mixed. Forsake foolishness and live, and go in the way of understanding. He who corrects a scoffer gets shame for himself, and he who rebukes a wicked man only harms himself. Do not correct a scoffer, lest he hate you. Rebuke a wise man, and he will love you. Give instruction to a wise man, and he will be still wiser. Teach a just man, and he will increase in learning."
The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom.
What is the fear of the Lord? No. What is the fear of the Lord?
Wisdom,
Okay. So if you wanted to gain wisdom, what do you need to have? A healthy
fear.
of the Lord. That's right. Okay. We tremble in fear because we can't even, the concept of God is so far beyond our knowledge. And yet he's so great that he took on the form of man so that we could live. Right? When you have that recognition of how great God is, that's the beginning of wisdom. Okay? And the knowledge of the Holy One is understanding. For by me your days will be multiplied, and years of life will be added to you. If you are wise for yourself. And if you scoff, you will bear it alone. One thing that I noticed here is a lot of people don't adhere to this particular verse. He who corrects a scoffer, you would automatically think that's what you're supposed to do, right? Is to correct the person who scoffs. Okay? But he gets shame for himself. And he who rebukes a wicked man only harms himself. That seems a little bit odd there. But if we read on, it says, rebuke a wise man and he will love you. give instruction to a wise man, and he will still be wiser. If I'm going to use my buddy Raymond as an example, there are many times where Raymond and I will run something by each other, and I know that I'm going to get an honest answer from him, where he's going to be like, nah, that's really dumb. What are you thinking? And I will give him the same response, not because I have no fear of him not liking me for telling him I think he's an idiot on doing something. He knows that I'm telling him that out of love, and he doesn't want to make that mistake, just like I don't want to make those mistakes. That's what's being said here. Yes, Levi.
So giving the person instruction, how it makes him wiser is because if he was wise and you gave him instructions to follow the Lord even more, he would be wiser.
Yes. Yeah, you gotta keep up with Levi here, Luke. Moving on.
He lost me too.
Do you want to explain it to Mom? You want it, babe? Go ahead.
The person's wise, and if you gave someone instructions and they're wiser, if you gave them more instructions about God, they would be wiser.
That's right.
So you got, let's say, hypothetically speaking, you have someone, and I think this really is like two groups of people. And I think the Holy Spirit works on us and puts people on our hearts specifically to pray for. And we go to them. They have the right to say no. Okay? But if they listen, we've gained a soul for heaven, not us, but what God does. Okay? Because people are lost. Remember what Jesus did with the sheep? There was 99 and one went astray. What did he do?
He followed God.
He left the 99 to go after the one who was going the wrong way. Prodigal son. Yeah. Yep. Hey, Levi won the Christ Communicator Award today at school. We're pretty proud of him. So, and we're going to talk about being pride. So let's move forward. You did great too, Luke. We are proud of you as well, son. For by me your days will be multiplied, and years of your life will be added to you. And if you are wise for yourself. And if you scoff, you will bear it alone. A foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knows nothing. For some reason, this particular verse reminded me of that Fergie song. Glamorous. I know this isn't it. But clamorous, do you guys know what clamorous means with a C? What does it mean, Levi? Wrong. Luke, what does it mean? No.
Nice guess.
Well, he read the next line, she is simple, which I love that.
He said sinful.
Oh, okay. Yeah, actually, yeah. So clamorous, I have the definition if you guys want to hear it. It says to murmur, growl, roar, cry aloud, mourn, rage, or make loud noises. To be clamorous. To be disquieted, to be moved, to be troubled, to be in an uproar. Okay, and then the word for simple here means silly and seductibility. So a foolish woman is clamorous. She is simple and knows nothing. For she sits at the door of her house on the seat by the highest place of the city to call to those who pass by, who go on their way. Whoever is simple, let him turn in here. And as for him who lacks understanding, she says to him, stolen water is sweet, and bread eaten in secret is pleasant. But he does not know that the dead are there, that her guests are in the depths of hell. So we see a lot of problems with sexual sin in the Old Testament. And I know we've become so callous now where it seems like it's a way of life, but it's a big deal. It was a big deal to God, and we see many instances of this. In this particular proverb, it reminds me of the sirens. Does anyone know what a siren is? Yes. And what did they do?
Songs and distract or like what's it called? Distracted or
She tricked the sailors into the bay, and they would fall into destruction, right?
Yes.
So let's leave this last part. Stolen water is sweet, and bread eaten is secret and pleasant, but he does not know that the dead are there, that her guests are in the depths of hell. Chapter 10. Now you remember what I'm talking about, right? Blessings are on the head of the righteous, but violence covers the mouth of the wicked. The memory of the righteous is blessed, but the name of the wicked will rot.
You're on 10. You're on 10.
10 says the Proverbs of Solomon, a wise son makes a glad father.
So let me do this. Okay. We'll go switch over to this.
Keep up.
Give me 1 second, guys. I am not prepared. I've made a mistake. Okay. Eventually, that's going to get over there. All right. And can you guys see the Bible now on your screen?
Yeah.
Not you, Levi.
Yes.
You can see where it's the actual scripture itself?
Yes.
Okay. So now let's go over here. And we're in chapter 10. Aha! You guys are right. I don't know how that happened, but we're going to go ahead and start from here. The Proverbs of Solomon. A wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish son is the heaviness of his mother. Treasures of wickedness profit nothing, but righteousness delivereth from death. The Lord will not suffer the soul of the righteous to famish, but he casteth away the substance of the wicked. He becometh poor that dealeth with a slack hand, but the hand of the diligent maketh rich. He who gathers in summer is a wise son. He who sleeps in harvest is a son who causes shame. Blessings are on the head of the righteous, but violence covers the mouth of the wicked. The memory of the righteous is blessed, but the name of the wicked will rot. The wise in heart will receive commands, but a prating fool will fall. All right, I want to do a little test with you guys. The memory of the righteous is blessed, but the name of the wicked will rot. I want you guys to fill in the blank right now. No, you don't. You don't even know the question. And you wouldn't know this answer. I'm thinking of a famous nun. Wrong. Her first name was Mother what? There we go. Everyone knows her name. Mother Teresa. Yeah, good job, Lily. Okay. Everyone remembers her for what? She did lots of good stuff, right? So we see there, just looking at that verse, the memory of the righteous is blessed, but the name of the wicked will rot. How many people are cheering for Hitler? Nobody.
Nobody.
Yeah, there's some choice words that we have for him. So, verse 8, the wise in heart will receive commands, but a prating fool will fall. He who walks with integrity walks securely, but he who perverts his way will become known. He who winks with the eye causes trouble, but a prating fool will fall. The mouth of the righteousness is a well of life, but violence covers the mouth of the wicked. Hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all sins. Michelle, which John 3:16? Just the first part? Okay. Good job, guys. So Proverbs 10, we're talking about the time of Solomon, thousands of years before Christ. We see hatred stirs up strife, but love covers all sins. Wisdom is found on the lips of him who has understanding, but a rod is for the back of him who is devoid of understanding. Wise people store up knowledge, but the mouth of the foolish is near destruction. The rich man's wealth is his strong city. The destruction of the poor is their poverty. The labor of the righteous leads to life. The wages of the wicked to sin. He who keeps instruction is in the way of life, but he who refuses correction goes astray. That's a good one right there. How many times have you guys been given the right way to do things and have refused it? Luke, how many times have we told you not to suck your thumb?
Thousands.
Okay,
Have you been picking up for a
stop. Okay. Whoever hides hatred has lying lips, and whoever spreads slander is a fool. In the multitude of words, sin is not lacking, but he who restrains his lips is wise. The tongue of the righteous is choice silver. The heart of the wicked is worth little. The lips of the righteous feed many, but fools die for lack of wisdom. The blessing of the Lord makes one rich, and he adds no sorrow with it. To do evil is like sport to a fool, but a man of understanding has wisdom. The fear of the wicked will come upon him, and the desire of the righteous will be granted. When the whirlwind passes by, the wicked is no more, but the righteous has an everlasting foundation. As vinegar to the teeth and smoke to the eyes, so is the lazy man to those who send him. The fear of the Lord prolongs days, but the years of the wicked will be shortened. The hope of the righteous will be gladness, but the expectation of the wicked will perish. The way of the Lord is strength for the upright, but destruction will come to the workers of iniquity. The righteous will never be removed, but the wicked will not inhabit the earth. The mouth of the righteous brings forth wisdom, but the perverse tongue will be cut out. The lips of the righteous know what is acceptable, but the mouth of the wicked is perverse. So that's chapter 10. 11. Okay, and I have the slides on this one. We'll see if this one worked. I don't know why that did that. Is this 11? A false balance is an abomination to the Lord. Let's click over here. What's my e-sword say? Yeah, a false. Okay. We'll go back to our slide. Oh no. Bert. Okay. Are you guys seeing the PowerPoint now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
11 starts off with dishonest.
I just looked at 11.
There's no food. You have to buy.
I literally just looked at 11 and it said the same thing.
Dishonest scales are an abomination.
Yeah, a false balance is an abomination to the Lord.
Yeah, you're for the difference.
It's just makes it different.
It's just,
Be using the same Bible.
I know. Okay. Sorry, guys. Now my computer's freaking out. I can read part of it. I know, bud. All right. I'm going to go ahead and just continue on the slide because that's what I have here. Right there. A false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. Do you guys remember what the balances were used for? Okay, if you get it wrong, you can't answer the next question.
Take the scale.
What is a scale for? Okay. So the scales was a unit of measurement.
Bottom there.
Two different times on there.
They're both wet.
All right. So the scales, basically, if you were trying to sell grain, you would have a unit of measure on one side that weighed out a pound, right? And so whenever you would sell to whoever it may be, you would put a 1 pound weight on one side and weigh out a measure of a pound of wheat on the other, and it would balance out. What people would do is they would cheat. They would make something lighter and say it was a certain weight so that they would lose less grain. They would sell it for more money, but when they would buy, they would have something heavier. So they were cheating. So we see here, they would essentially lying. So a false balance is an abomination to the Lord, but a just weight is his delight. When pride cometh, then cometh shame, but with the lowly is wisdom. The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of transgression shall destroy them. Riches profit not in the day of wrath, but righteousness delivereth from death. The righteousness of the perfect shall direct his way, but the wicked shall fall by his own wickedness. The righteousness of the upright shall deliver them, but transgressors shall be taken in their own naughtiness. When a wicked man die, his expectation shall perish, and the hope of unjust men perish. The righteous is delivered out of trouble, and the wicked cometh in his stead. An hypocrite with his mouth destroy his neighbor, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered. When it goeth well with his righteousness, the city rejoiceth. And when the wicked perish, there is shouting. By the blessing of the upright, the city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. He that is void of wisdom despiseth his neighbor, but a man of understanding holdeth his peace. A table-bearer revealeth secrets, but he that is of a faithful spirit concealeth the matter. Where no counsel is, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors there is safety. He that is surety for a stranger shall smart for it, and he that hateth surety is sure. Okay, so I'm going to close this because I noticed that everyone else's Bible is the different version. I grabbed the wrong version. We'll go back to eSword. That way everyone can read the same thing. I don't want to make it any harder. I know. I'm working on it, Levi. Give your dad a break. I'm about to find out. Sorry, guys, my computer's not working at the moment. I'm trying to figure this out. Give me 1 second.
Elliot, you want this one? You want to do from this book? I know that your dad needs a book.
Okay, I can do it this way. If you guys are going to have your right there, I can just read from my Bible and then I can share it on my screen here.
Okay, but the kids are trying to find out.
Miguel, do you remember what verse we stopped off on right now?
Yeah, we were around the balances. No, that was at the beginning. Gracious woman, by the blessing of the
Okay, I know we're on verse
like 11.
Yeah, somewhere around here.
Yes.
All right. Hey, guys.
Okay, it was 11, the last one.
All right, I'm going to read from here. He who's devoid of wisdom despises his neighbor, but a man of understanding holds his peace. Verse 13. A table bearer reveals secrets, but he who is of a faithful spirit conceals a matter. Verse 14. Where there is no counsel, the people fall, but in the multitude of counselors there is safety. 15. He who is surety for a stranger will suffer, but one who hates being surety is secure. A gracious woman retains honor, but ruthless men retain riches. The merciful man does good for his own soul, but he who is cruel troubles his own flesh. The wicked man does deceptive work, but he who sows righteousness will have a sure reward. As righteousness leads to life, so he who pursues evil pursues it to his own death. Those who are of a perverse heart are an abomination to the Lord, but the blameless in their ways are his delight. Though they join forces, the wicked will not go unpunished, but the posterity of the righteous will be delivered. As a ring of gold in a swine's snout, so is a lovely woman who lacks discretion. That's pretty rough. The desire of the righteous is only good, but the expectation of the wicked is wrath. There is one who scatters, yet increases more, and there is one who withholds more than is right, but it leads to poverty. The generous soul will be made rich, and he who waters will also be watered himself. The people will curse him who withholds grain, but blessings will be on the head of him who sells it. He who earnestly seeks good finds favor, but trouble will come to him who seeks evil. He who trusts in his riches will fall, but the righteous will flourish like foliage. He who troubles his own house will inherit the wind, and the fool will be servant to the wise of heart. The fruit of righteousness is a tree of life, and he who wins souls is wise. If the righteous will be recompensed on the earth, how much more the ungodly and the sinner? Chapter 12. Whoever loves instruction loves knowledge, but he who hates correction is stupid. Do you know what that means? Whoever loves instruction loves knowledge, but he who hates correction is stupid. Okay? Sometimes we need people to correct us, and we need to be willing to receive it. Yes. A good man obtains favor from the Lord, but a man of wicked intentions he will condemn. A man is not established by wickedness, but the root of the righteousness cannot be moved. An excellent wife is the crown of her husband, but she who causes shame is like rottenness in his bones. This is a good verse. The thoughts of the righteous are right, but the counsel of the wicked are deceitful. The words of the wicked lie in wait for blood, but the mouth of the upright will deliver them. The wicked are overthrown and are no more, but the house of the righteous will stand. A man will be commended according to his wisdom, but he who is of a perverse heart will be despised. Better is the one who is slighted but has a servant than he who honors himself but lacks bread. A righteous man regards the life of his animal, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. He who tills his land will be satisfied with bread, but he who follows frivolity is devoid of understanding. The wicked covet the catch of evil men, but the root of the righteous yield fruit. The wicked is ensnared by the transgression of his lips, but the righteous will come through trouble. A man will be satisfied with good by the fruit of his mouth, and the recompense of a man's hands will be rendered to him. The way of a fool is right in his own eyes, but he who heeds counsel is wise. I love that verse because there's many times where you have to find a content expert on someone in life. And that's what I think that says there. The way of the fool is right in his own eyes. I got it on my own. I don't need any help. But someone who's wise seeks counsel. A fool's wrath is known at once, but a prudent man covers shame. He who speaks truth declares righteousness, but a false witness deceit. There is one who speaks like the piercings of a sword, but the tongue of the wise promotes health. The truthful lip shall be established forever, but a lying tongue is but for a moment. Deceit is in the heart of those who devise evil, but counselors of peace have joy. No grave trouble will overtake the righteous, but the wicked shall be filled with evil. Lying lips are an abomination to the Lord, but those who deal truthfully are his delight. A prudent man conceals knowledge, but the heart of fools proclaims foolishness. The hand of the diligent will rule, but the lazy man will be put to forced labor. Anxiety in the heart of man causes depression, but a good word makes it glad. The righteous should choose his friends carefully, for the way of the wicked leads them astray. The lazy man does not roast what he took in hunting, but diligence is man's precious possession. In the way of righteousness is life, and in its pathway there is no death. I think we got one more. Chapter 13. Levi, why don't you go ahead and read the first verse for that? Chapter 13. Nope. Heeds. Okay, what does that mean? What does that mean? A wise son heeds his father's instructions.
Because he doesn't know love.
You need to listen to your dad. You need to listen to your parents. That's what that means. Okay?
Respect your elders.
Remember what we heard about scoffers? Scoffers, bad person. Remember we read about them just recently? So this is a comparative. This is a comparative, Levi. So a wise son heeds his father's instructions. The opposite of someone would be a scoffer does not listen to rebuke. Okay? A man shall eat well by the fruit of his mouth, but the soul of the unfaithful feeds on violence. He who guards his mouth preserves his life, but he who opens wide his lips shall have destruction. Why do we have 2 ears, Lou? There you go. Okay. So he who guards his mouth preserves his life, but he who opens his mouth wide, his lips shall have destruction. The soul of a lazy man desires and has nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made rich. A righteous man hates lying, but a wicked man is loathsome and comes to shame. Righteousness guards him whose way is blameless, but wickedness overthrows the sinner. There is one who makes himself rich, yet has nothing, and one who makes himself poor, yet has great riches. The ransom of a man's life is his riches, but the poor does not hear rebuke. The light of the righteous rejoices, but the lamp of the wicked will be put out. By pride comes nothing but strife, but with the well-advised is wisdom. Wealth gained by dishonesty will be diminished, but he who gathers by labor will increase. Hope deferred makes the heart sick, but when the desire comes, it is a tree of life. He who despises the word will be destroyed, but he who fears the commandment will be rewarded. The law of the wise is a fountain of life, to turn one away from the snares of death. Good understanding gains favor, but the way of the unfaithful is hard. Every prudent man acts with knowledge, but a fool lays open his folly. A wicked messenger falls into trouble, but a faithful ambassador brings health. Poverty and shame will come to him who disdains correction, but he who regards rebuke will be honored. A desire accomplished is sweet to the soul, but it is an abomination to fools who depart from evil. He who walks with wise men will be wise, but the companion of fools will be destroyed. What does that mean, Levi? He who walks with wise men will be wise, but the companion of fools will be destroyed. Yes, it means you need to listen to mom and dad when we tell you guys about picking the right friends.
Careful who you hang around with.
Careful who you hang around with. Very good, Miguel. This is a evil pursues sinners, but to the righteous good shall be repaid. A good man leaves an inheritance to his children's children, but the wealth of the sinner is stored up for the righteous. Much food is in the fallow ground of the poor, and for lack of justice there is waste. He Levi, I need you to read this verse. Chapter 13, verse 24. Oh, okay, I'm going to read it out loud to you, okay? He who spares his rod hates his son, but he who loves him disciplines him promptly. What do you think that means? Rod hates his son, but he who loves him disciplines him promptly. How many of you guys remember Dr. Phil's famous saying? Spare the rod, spoil the child. How many times have you guys heard that? Is that what the Bible says? Is that a Bible verse? Proverbs 13, here's what it actually says. He who spares his rod hates his son, but he who loves him disciplines him promptly. We teach our kids to not do dumb stuff that's either going to cause them harm or going to cause them trouble. That's why we discipline them promptly. It's biblical. It's what we're supposed to do. It's not about sparing the rod. I'm not saying go out there and beat the crap out of your kids. That's not what that's being said here. It's saying that you need to discipline them so that they know how to grow up. So he who spares his rod hates his son, but he who loves him disciplines him promptly. The righteous eats to the satisfying of his soul, but the stomach of the wicked shall be in want. And I think, let me check chapter 14. I think 14 is short. No, it's not. It's long. We'll get through chapter 14. The wise woman builds her house, but the foolish pulls it down with her hands. He who walks in his uprightness fears the Lord, but he who is perverse in his ways despises him. In the mouth of a fool is a rod of pride, but the lips of the wise will preserve them. Where no oxen are, the trough is clean, but much increase comes by the strength of an ox. A faithful witness does not lie, but a false witness will utter lies. A scoffer seeks wisdom and does not find it, but knowledge is easy to him who understands. Go from the presence of a foolish man, when you do not perceive in him the lips of knowledge. The wisdom of the prudent is to understand his way, but the folly of fools is deceit. Fools mock at sin, but among the upright there is favor. The heart knows its own bitterness, and a stranger does not share its joy. The house of the wicked will be overthrown, but the tent of the upright will flourish. There is a way that seems right to man, but its end is the way of death. Even in laughter, the heart may sorrow, but the end of mirth may be grief. The backslider in heart will be filled with his own ways, but a good man will be satisfied from above. The simple believes every word, but the prudent considers well his steps. A wise man fears and departs from evil, but a fool rages and is self-confident. A quick-tempered man acts foolishly, and a man of wicked intentions is hated. The simple inherit folly, but the prudent are crowned with knowledge. The evil will bow before the good, and the wicked at the gates of the righteous. The poor man is hated even by his own neighbor, but the rich has many friends. He who despises his neighbor sins, but he who has mercy on the poor, happy is he. Do they not go astray who devise evil? But mercy and truth belong to those who devise good. In all labor there is profit, but idle chatter leads only to poverty. The crown of the wise is their riches, but the foolishness of fools is folly. A true witness delivers souls, but a deceitful witness speaks lies. In the fear of the Lord, there is strong confidence, and his children will have a place of refuge. The fear of the Lord is a fountain of life, to turn one away from the snares of death. In a multitude of people is a king's honor, but in the lack of people is the downfall of a prince. He who is slow to wrath has great understanding, but he who is impulsive exalts folly. Dang, Lawson. He who oppresses the poor reproaches his maker, but he who honors him has mercy on the needy. The wicked is banished in his wickedness, but the righteous has a refuge in his death. Wisdom rests in the heart of him who has understanding, But what is in the heart of fools is made known. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin is a reproach to any people. The king's favor is toward a wise servant, but his wrath is against him who causes shame. But envy is the rottenness to the bones. My bad. Yeah. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and stop that. And we will do